Oh my gosh. So Mama Bear started back in 2017, at my kitchen table in Cork. And I have three kids. I still have three kids. I had three kids back then. And I suppose I was working long days. My husband worked long days. And what had happened was food and dinner times and meal times had just become nearly a box ticking exercise just to get them done and out of the way. And we had childcare here, there, everywhere. It was really, really difficult. The kids were small. I decided then that I was going to try and make and, create tomato ketchup from scratch. Well, actually, before that, I went and I tried different ones that I could find in the supermarket, and they just sat in the fridge, getting old. So then I decided I better try and make something myself. And so that's how it started, November 2017. And those first concoctions, I will call them concoctions. And I remember doing my very first big batch of ketchup, and the entire thing fell apart. I just had this pot of red soup. And at that point, I realized that there's actually a science and an art to this thing called food and food technology and food science and making food and developing recipes. The second thing that really stands out is getting the product onto shelf. The very first time, it was my local SuperValu in Glanmire, and I remember the store manager stayed open late and I hand delivered it in, and my daughter, who was 12 at the time, helped me put it on the shelf, and it was still hot in the bottles. And I remember I just stood back and I was like, wow, we've done it, it's here, it's on shelf. And then I suppose the next really big milestone was meeting Rose and Maxine, and having a lunch with them about Mama Bear, where I was at with Mama Bear, and meeting these two women, and getting a meeting with them face to face. And I'll never forget sitting down with them and really talking to them, and I knew they got it.
We're mums of young kids, so we're really concerned about their healthy eating and trying to get as many nutrients as possible and a variety of food choices into them. So when we saw what Loretta was doing, we really admired it and kind of wanted to be a part of it.
Most parents, go through struggles with their kids, hoping that they're eating a balanced meal, healthy meal. And also I think as working mums, we're just so busy. So It's a constant battle between our time and then hoping that the children will tuck into their, healthy snacks, healthy meals.
Yeah, it helps with that. I mean, the main thing really is to get them to eat the meal. So hopefully, you've prepared a nutritious meal, and then sometimes if the kids turn their noses up after your hours of preparation and cooking, you can entice them to eat it with a little bit of ketchup as well. So that helps me for sure anyway.
Yeah.
I feel Mama Bear is really, really responsive and really responsible as well. And I really, really see that. That was one of the beautiful things about aligning with Ballymaloe, that there's shared values there around sustainability, around sourcing of ingredients, around quality of ingredients, and not compromising on that. So I feel very excited to see what happens next with Mama Bear. I know we've so many ideas for so many different products, and I think the emphasis is always going to be on being really responsive. So what do we see is needed as mothers, as parents, as caregivers? Where do we see what do our children need, what do our families need, what would make life easier and more enjoyable for us all as families? So I mean, I have a list a mile long of all the different products that I think we could definitely be developing, and we're working on lots of different products at the moment. But I think it's always going to come back to, I mean, for me, my hope and my dream always for Mama Bear was that it would be a brand that would become synonymous with, trustworthy, healthy, nutritious family food. And that it would, that real trust would be there, and that we would be creating products that really added value, to families' enjoyment of food and to kids' lunch boxes and to children. Yeah.